Hey guys, welcome back to my channel once again. Today is Sunday and I didn't go for any ride. So I thought let's make it up for today and let's do a review of this particular bike which I'm riding for past 2 months, and I have done almost 3,700 kilometers on the Odo. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about the reasons why you should be buying this bike and why you should not be buying this bike. Though there are like very few reasons why you should not be buying this bike, but I can list out like 1,000 reasons why you should be buying it. So let's start with it. So today's video I'm gonna be talking about my honest review of this particular bike, since I've been riding this bike for almost 3,700 kilometers. So let's start with the advantages or the pros of this bike, which actually compelled me to buy this bike. The first advantage of this bike is the capacity. 400cc under 2 lakhs is the best you can get in market. That is the first advantage. Second advantage is the look. Look how beautiful it looks from this angle. Bike looks absolutely stunning from almost every angle. This has got so much of road appeal that whenever you go out on road, you'll definitely find someone turning their heads just to have a look at the bike. Third good point about this bike is the headlight. The headlight which this bike offers is absolutely awesome at night. You guys are riding at night, no issues. This can just flood the entire road with huge amount of light that you don't need to put on an auxiliary light or maybe fog lamps or anything that is required on most of the other bikes, which is not required on this particular bike. That's one good thing again. Talking about the fourth point, which I would say is a good point for me but may not be for others, is the riding position or the riding posture which this bike offers is absolutely awesome. You can just cruise on it for long hours. I have done that, and I've seen and I've realized that this particular bike offers so much more than the price. The price is just 1.8 on road. So getting a 400cc bike under 1.8 lakh is a big deal, and Bajaj, you guys have done a great job with all the awesome features. So point number 5, this bike comes with dual channel ABS on the front, on the rear, so you can always be sure that your ride is gonna be safe. You won't skid out somewhere, you won't fall out anywhere. So that's the fifth good point about this bike. Now let me talk, and there are many other good points about the bike which is related to the seating posture, the handle, the digital meter, the mileage, the engine capacity, the tires, the braking system, the suspension system. You guys have read all about it entirely on the internet. There are 1,000 videos available on YouTube. So I'm going to skip that part and I'll start with the negative part of this bike, which is not actually negative, but I feel that Bajaj could have done better. So starting off with first major thing, that if I'm going on a long tours, I need to mount a tank bag. Magnetic tank bag is owning a magnetic tank bag is of no use on this bike, because this bike, that's plastic, that's fiber, plastic, whatever it is. So you can't mount a magnetic tank bag on it. That is one drawback. The second drawback, the major drawback, is the vibration, which everyone is talking about. The vibration which this bike gives at somewhere around 4,000 rpm to 5,000 rpm range is pathetic. But yeah, I am coming from Apache, so this vibration is very less for me. But a guy who is coming from a very silent and very well tuned motorbike like Yamaha, then I would say they have real complaints about the bike in terms of vibration. But third bad thing about this bike is the split console. It is good, definitely it is good, but for long touring options, if you are having a mounted tank bag over here, then a display is kind of hidden. So every time you need to look at the major console like battery, the temperature indicator or the engine temperature, lighting, side stand lighting, the flash lighting, then you can't see that until you get the tank bag removed. So there is one negative point again about the bike. Now next negative point about this bike is the windshield. So this windshield is practically of no use. It's of no use. You take it on highway, you cross 80 kilometers per hour or maybe 90, and there's a huge wind blast on your head which will spin your neck and your head both together. So this windshield is of no use. Bajaj, I don't know if you guys have done a wind tunnel test of this bike. If you guys would have done it, then you would have known that you could have done something better with the visor, because as you say that it's a sports cruiser, right? So if I'm taking this bike on a highway, and it's very much obvious that I'll have to face wind blasts. If I'm touring for a long hours, then this visor is not gonna work. It simply won't work. So people have gone for aftermarket visors, which is working fine, but yeah, stock visors would have been great. Next negative point about this bike is the issues which it has, which was recently solved by Bajaj guys all over the state. It was related to power issues, it was related to vibration, it was related to many other things, but power loss, yes, power loss was one of the issues which many people faced. After hitting 4000 rpm, at some point the bike loses power automatically, no one knows how. So these guys, they provided with the ECU update which can, modify the engine rpm and etc, and it can well tune the engine so that there's no power lag. So that after the ECU update. Next is again about the vibration. The vibration comes up from the engine to the tank and to the handlebar. So what happens when the vibration comes up to handlebar is that your hand starts shaking, and after like 100 kilometers or 200 kilometers, if you remove your hand from the handlebar, then there's some kind of vibration that is in your hand. You kind of feel very odd at your palm, and the vibration also comes up to the side mirrors or the rear view mirrors. Even they start vibrating, because of which the rear view is not very clear. That's one again negative point. And talking about the slightly small, very small component of the entire bike which no one gives a damn about until you are paying 2 lakhs for it, is the tank pad. So this one is a tank guard or a tank pad or a scratch guard or whatever you may call it. This is something that Bajaj has literally saved cost on. This is nothing. It looks very cheap. When you're buying a premium bike from Bajaj, you don't expect this kind of tank pad on this kind of bike. So what people have done, what I am also planning to do, is to go for aftermarket tank guard or scratch guard, whatever you want to call it. So that is one again thing which is very bad about the bike. I feel that these are the few points which could have been done better by Bajaj. Negative point one more, the gear shifting. Many guys have complained about it. If you guys have not seen the first video which I did the test ride for the Dominar, I noticed the first drawback on this bike was the gear shifting. The gear shifting on this bike is not at all smooth. Now it's a heavy bike, it's a big bike, it's a bigger capacity bike. So what these engineers from Bajaj, they say that for the first neutral gear, from first neutral to first gear, the engine noise, the gear shifting noise would be anyway a bit louder, but as you move on the highway the sound should decrease, and it actually happens that way. But you need to get some adjustments done. So what I did, I went to the service center and talked to the guys, and what they did, they loosened the clutch a bit, because initially it was very tight. Initially the clutch was very tight. So what they did, they loosened the clutch, and after that the gear shifting was kind of better. So yeah, they have solutions for everything, they have it ready, but why didn't you put those solutions before putting it into the market? Why you gave people a chance to talk bad about this bike? I am just finding silly reasons to tell you that this bike is bad. At some point, there's nothing bad about this bike. I've been riding this bike for almost 2 months now, and this bike is absolutely gorgeous. This bike gives so much power, this bike has so much capability on highway. You can just hit 120 130 very easy. 130 you can cruise at 130 very easily without breaking a sweat. Engine heating, yes, people talked about engine heating as well, but I never felt it, because yeah, obviously if you're riding this bike in city, then obviously you'll feel some kind of engine heating, but that's one thing I don't agree. To conclude, I would say this bike is absolutely awesome. If you are planning to buy this bike, go for it. Don't think for even a single second. If you guys are waiting for BMW G310R, that's entirely different class. If you want to buy Dominar, go for it. This is absolutely stunner. I'm telling you, this bike has no comparison till now. I am not sure if I can just replace Dominar with some other bike. This bike is absolutely awesome. If you guys are planning to go for it, go for it. I would give a thumbs up to this bike since I've been riding this bike. So yeah, this is all about the bike. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any queries, if you want to ask me anything about the Dominar. If you have any query related to the bike or the servicing or the software or the hardware or the engine or anything, just comment it in the comment section below and I'll reply for sure. Thanks for watching guys. Bye bye, take care and enjoy the time lapse.